One is we're fixing the executive branch of government. I'll tell you what day one looks like. Day one, move our military to the southern border. Get them the hell out of places like Germany or places they shouldn't be. Move them to the southern border as commander-in-chief. Day one, cross out any executive order, any executive regulation that fails that test at West Virginia University EPA. That's most federal regulations out the window. Start the process of firing 75% of the federal bureaucrats. I will get half of that done in the first month. Here's how. It's got to be something like this. If your Social Security number ends in an odd number and you're in the bureaucracy, you're out. Even number, you're in. I'm not kidding around. On day two, the sun will still rise in the east and set in the west. Not a thing is going to break. Everything will function just as it did the day before. The federal government's half its size. It's got to be this way. I know it sounds like, facile, for fun talk. It's not. The law requires us to do it this way because otherwise they'll put you in court for years about civil rights violations or about political retaliation lawsuits. But large indiscriminate firings, and this is what Trump missed. They duped him. The men in briefcases showed up and said all the things you can't do. But if you're a president who swears an oath to the Constitution, you might as well have read it. Okay, start with that, swear an oath to it, and keep it. I'm guided by the Constitution, not by the men in briefcases. They can do to me whatever they will. I push the Trump people on, why didn't they end? One of the executive orders that I hate the most is 11246. We'll cross that out on day one. What did that say? It says that requires any federal contractor, that's about 20% of the U.S. workforce working for such a company, to adopt racial and gender quota systems in their own hiring. That's where a lot of this DEI nonsense begins. It begins with the federal government. Now, I pushed them. Why? You could have just done it with the stroke of a pen. They said that's a political hill we didn't want to die on. They will drag my body out of the White House before I rescind that executive order or any other one like it. That's what it's going to take, a commitment to the Constitution. Okay, so that's what guides me. In the same way I'm running this race, I would rather lose this election than to win by playing some fake political game. Well, the same thing. I would rather whatever they're going to do to me, let them do it to me sooner than becoming a puppet of that same system. That's the answer. And if you want somebody who's going to speak truth to power, actually face down the deep state, then vote for the person who's actually going to speak the truth to you. I'm the only person in this race who can tell you certain things that we know to be true, that they haven't told us the truth about what really happened on January 6th. That's why I'm going to pardon every one of those peaceful protesters. To tell you our own party is corrupt and we need to change what's actually right in the United States of America. I'm not just going to reform the FBI. We're going to actually get in there and shut them down. That actually every manufacturer, whether they're a vaccine manufacturer or not, has to play by the same set of rules. There's a reason why. The Republican Party doesn't accept you saying certain things that are out of step. When I said that about the vaccine liability exemptions, and I assume you guys know what I'm talking about. Normally, if you have a manufacturer that makes a product that hurts you, you can sue them. Except if they're a vaccine manufacturer, in which case you can't. I'm not making this up. At the fourth debate, and you guys have been watching the presidential debates? So the fourth debate, the online stream of that, it's on Rumble and elsewhere. I kid you not, it goes dark. They say this program will return in 4 minutes when I'm offering exactly that against the pharmaceutical industry. Why? Because the pharmaceutical industry is one of the biggest advertisers on the very networks where they're rolling that out to you. Think about why we don't have psychiatric institutions in this country. You want to fight violent crime? You want to end the crime epidemic in cities across this country? Bring back the psychiatric institutions. Why don't we have psychiatric institutions anymore in this country? Pharma industry lobbying, which lobbied to close the psychiatric institutions right on the eve of rolling out their big antipsychotic blockbuster drugs. So if you're going to get a candidate who's bought and paid for by the super PACs, you can expect more of the same when you get into office. I'm not saying this to boast or anything. We're just laying it bare. We spent tens of millions of dollars of our own family's hard-earned money. We didn't inherit it. That was hard-earned money. And you know what? We're putting it into this campaign because the inheritance we want to give our kids, what's the point in giving them a bunch of green pieces of paper if there's no country where they can even live that same American dream? That's why we're in this. And so that's why I'm going to lead this country. And I just want to say one word as well, which none of you have asked about it yet, but it's very important to Purva and I, and I want to share that with you as well, is it's our faith that guides us to this journey. most of you may be aware, my background is a little bit different than the traditional faith background of people who run for U.S. president. We're Hindu, which is a little different than the traditional Christian background of people who have run. But we share the same value set in common. I'll tell you what our faith teaches us. There's one true God. He puts us here for a purpose. It's our moral duty to realize that purpose. That God works through us in different ways. But we're still equal because God resides in each of us, because we're equal in the eyes of God. I had what you would call not a traditional upbringing, but a very traditional upbringing. And I'm grateful for it now that I'm an adult and now that we're parents ourselves. My parents taught us that family is the foundation, that marriage is sacred. They taught us it was between a man and a woman, that adultery is wrong, that abstinence before marriage is the way to go, that the good things in life involve a sacrifice. It's not just about this life, it's about the eternal life. I went to St. Xavier High School in Cincinnati. It's a Christian school, and we get to 9th grade, about 14 years old, making our way through the Old Testament. We get to the Ten Commandments. What do they say? There's one true God. Don't take his name in vain. Observe the Sabbath. Don't lie. Don't cheat. Don't steal. Don't kill. Don't commit adultery. Don't covet. It didn't feel like I was reading those values for the first time, but I bring this up because it's also something that I think will be a tool for me. You're not asking for my advice, and I'm not giving it to you, but I'm sharing it from my perspective. One of the things that gives me my freedom is my faith. When you think it's being done by you, for me, that's very constraining. When we remind ourselves it's being done through us, that gives me my freedom. And so that's the way, not only have I lived my life, adult life at least, and that's why the way we're running this race, that's how we're going to lead this country. Guided by our purpose, swearing an oath to the Constitution and keeping it. I want to share my faith with you. I'm not going to be the national pastor. Don't worry about that. It's not my job to do that. It's the job of pastors across this country. But it is my job to swear an oath to the Constitution and keep it. And if that's what I believe God put each of us here to do and put us here to do, then no men in briefcases are going to be stopping me from achieving that goal along the way. So that, too, is important to me. Thank you. Please. I can repeat it. Yeah.
She got her MBA through University of Iowa. She started out a young Republican, and by the time she graduated, AOC was her hero. What are we going to do to stop? What are you going to do as president to stop the indoctrination on our children?
Yes. When did she graduate?
She just got her MBA a couple years ago. Now she's in D.C.
A couple years ago. So I'll say something. You know, if I today believed everything I did when I was 19 years old, I shouldn't be running for president either. I'll tell you that. So there's phases in life. But I'll tell you something. It goes back to the earlier point I made. We can blame the other side, but let's look in the mirror ourselves. We haven't offered a vision of what it actually means to be a Republican. We're against what AOC puts up, but what do we stand for? I think that's our failure. And so in fairness to your daughter, we haven't given a menu of options to actually choose from. You get one side, she's going to choose something over nothing. If one side is making a lot of noise about what the other side is doing, the other side offers a vision, they're at a competitive advantage. And in school? Yeah, that's a civil rights violation. So my first book, and actually that brings me back to here. I came here to do my first book tour, Woke Inc. You remember it? We saw you. Yeah, good to see you guys again. Scott County Women Republican Club, we brought me over here as part of my book tour for Woke Inc. In that book, I actually laid out a legal case here. So since you asked, I wouldn't get into this level of detail, but it's important. It gives you the kind of thing that I'm going to be able to do as a president. So the civil rights laws say you can't discriminate based on race, gender, sexuality, religion, or national origin. Take the religion prong. That means that not only does that mean you can't fire somebody or hire somebody because of their religion or discriminate against them in a classroom, it also means you can't force somebody to bow down to the religion of their employer This is happening to teachers at public universities and at public schools. Well, if this new DEI religion or wokeism actually meets the Supreme Court's test for what counts as a religion, then that's actually a civil rights violation, and it's an establishment clause violation at the federal level and at the governmental level. So that's exactly what's happening. There's certain words you can't say, clothes you can't wear, apologies you must recite, excommunication procedures that are initiated. That's a civil rights violation on the law as it exists today. I'm a guy that says, okay, if you want to get rid of these protected classes altogether, be my guest, let's do it. Race, gender, sexuality, let every business decide for themselves. But so long as we have those protected classes, we're not applying the law even-handedly. So a lot of that, if she's actually experiencing discrimination, that would be a legal violation right now. I'll tell you one example of a student that we had an opportunity to help in a small way. It was a family we met a few years ago when I was writing that book. This kid was in 12th grade. His name's William, in Nevada. And he was in a class where he was asked to have to confess his white privilege and take a step forward in the classroom for being a member of an oppressor class rather than an oppressed class. He refused to do it. They gave him a failing grade in the class. After he repeatedly, they told him, well, you have to. He said, no, I refuse to do this. They gave him a failing grade in the class. That brought down his GPA. What this colleges he was going to get into, he wasn't going to get into as a result. Now, the first time I spoke to his mother on the phone, and they were in need of some help and some support for their legal case, which we were thankfully able to support them in, I talked to his mother. The first time I then saw her in person was a shock to me, actually. She was black. He was half white. She's a single mother, and the kid had white skin, and that was why he was quiet and soft-spoken, refused to confess his white privilege. That's how backwards and perverted our own educational system has become in the level of indoctrination. But the right answer is, I don't think we need new laws. This is where I think, again, a lot of Republicans with knee-jerk reactions end up reflexively passing some law that gets struck down by some court or otherwise. It's a violation of the laws as they already exist. So again, if I'm swearing an oath to the Constitution, if that's happening at public universities or others that are getting funding from the federal government, and I'm swearing an oath to the Constitution, we keep it. That's a violation of the rule of law, and we will instruct our Attorney General to enforce the civil rights laws even-handedly in this country. We don't need new laws, enforce the existing ones as they exist. That's in the short run. And then in the long run, we still have to level up as a party, revive our national character, answer what we actually stand for. That's ultimately how we win, is dilute the wokeism to irrelevance, revive civic education in this country. I think every high school senior should have to pass the same civics test that every immigrant has to pass in order to become a voting citizen of this country. That's how we get our national pride back in America. And so it's got to be both of the above. And maybe I'll use this to close on this. So do we have one question I saw there? We'll go to that gentleman in the back. I actually had a bunch more, but we'll give you the final word, sir. But before as I go to you, I'll say this is the job of the next U.S. president. It's not just policy. Your question demonstrated that perfectly. Part of it's policy. Half the job of the next U.S. president is standing for the right policies. But the other half of the job is to stand for our national character. That's the job of the next president. Reagan was the last president who did this well. When Reagan left office in January of 1989, he gave probably one of the best farewell speeches we've had in modern history. You all can probably hear me. I got a built-in microphone, too. Oh, man, you're really fast. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. He gave one of the great all-time farewell speeches. Of all the things he could have picked, bringing us to the near end of the Cold War, growing the economy, getting us out of stagflation. I mean, if one man could have bragged about a lot of things when he left the Oval Office, it was Ronald Reagan. But of all the things he could have picked, he didn't pick any of those things. When he left in January of 1989, what he said is, we are proud to revive a national character that we lacked when I first took office in 81. That's what he said. And Apoorv and I talk about this a lot. When we leave that White House in January 2033, after 2 terms, What do I want to tell you that we actually did? I'll tell you we shut down the deep state. We're getting started on that on month 1. I'll tell you we secured our border crisis. We stayed out of World War III. We grew this economy. We declared independence from communist China. All of that. But the most important thing I want to tell you is that our 2 sons and their generation, that they are once again proud to be citizens of this nation. If we do that, we revive our national character. Our best days can still yet be ahead of us. Sir, I promised you, you want to just give it to me and I can repeat your question.
Sure. We'll throw a couple curveballs at you, see how you get them out the ball.
That's allowed.
Okay. I don't use the microphone.
He's my type.
What's your stand on the blue law?
I don't know the blue law, I have to admit that.
Really?
Tell me what it is.
Sunday law. You heard of that?
What?
No. Stores that are open Sunday. Oh, so like the alcohol that close on Sundays, you can't sell this or that on Sunday. Yeah, that's what they call blue laws. Fine.
What's your stand on that?
Well, I think it's a state's issue, but I personally think that anytime you have a law that the police generally are not enforcing, that's a formula for a trap that ultimately is a threat to freedom. And I'll tell you why. Ambiguity is the friend of the tyrant. Right? So if you have a law in the books that you only enforce 1 out of 100 times, that allows them to go after you when you're the guy who ultimately is the one left standing in the game of musical chairs. So we see that now more than ever in this country. If you have the wrong political belief, if you wear the hat of the wrong political candidate to work, I'm dead set against that. And that's, I think, a violation of liberty at its core. That's it. I didn't know they were called blue laws, but my dad likes to talk about these a lot. And they irritated him in law school as much as they irritate me.
Next question. Got people on Social Security got the lowest raise they've ever got this year.
Yes, that's correct.
But then we turn around and we send $14.5 billion to Ukraine for a war that, why?
Oh, no, sir. It's more like $200 billion to Ukraine. Oh, yeah. If you count all the in-kind contributions, the Pentagon's mistaken accounting, you guys can't even make this stuff up. The Pentagon claimed that actually they undervalued the equipment they sent just to create more ability to send more without asking Congress. It's about $200 billion. So let me address this one. This is important. This is super core to your future. You've got $200,000 of debt on your shoulders as somebody who's going to be a firefighter that you didn't sign up for. That's our national debt. And you want to know what America Last policy looks like? It's most of the Republican Party's platform. Heck, might be why your daughter might not like it, for all I know, is cut benefits for veterans, cut Social Security to ship more money to Ukraine. That's what we're doing today. So these young men and women can actually have $200,000 of debt on their shoulder per person. Here's what I would do. Very practical here. Back to wearing my businessman hat. I could go all day about railing about the problem, but forget who you're going to blame. Here's how we solve the problem. You want to address the national debt? We've got a $34 trillion national debt problem. What's our timeline? Anything you got to ask is, what's your timeline to address it? When the interest payments on our national debt become the largest line item in our federal budget, we're done. Then we're in quicksand. You know when that is? That's about 5 years from now. So we're not working with a lot of time. Here's the emergency answer that stands for fighting our national debt without cutting a dime of Social Security or Medicare. Here's how. Get the oil and natural gas out from underneath our ground and sell it to then buy down our national debt. That's $8 trillion right there. Next, avoid the $7 trillion that we spent in foreign wars, just Iraq and Afghanistan. Those 2 wars added $7 trillion to our national debt that did not advance the American interest. For God's sake, the Taliban is still in charge 20 years later, and Iraq is a more broken country than when we showed up. Don't make those same mistakes in Ukraine. That's $7 trillion less. Now you go to the next phase of 75% headcount reduction across the federal bureaucracy and zero-based budgeting. As I said, don't start with last year's budget, but start with zero as the baseline. We have our national debt problem fixed without cutting a dime of Social Security or Medicare. That's how you get that job done. I get that done as your next president. This is our last window to do it. But then I got one more for you. One more tidbit. Because you made a good point. You didn't ask me about cuts to Social Security and Medicare. You said we haven't received a raise because there's actually been inflation that's far outpaced Social Security payments.
So first of all, most of the Republican Party, basically one way or another, wants to cut your Social Security. That's where it's coming. I just laid out a plan to fully address our national debt without touching your Social Security. So at least we'll start there. We're not cutting it. Now let me talk to you about, what if I told you there was a way we could increase Social Security benefits, but without touching the national debt? I assume this would be of interest, right? I mean, many people can't even make their ends meet because they've paid into a system that's not paying them back what they've inflated away in the value of those dollars. That's what's happening. Here's the answer. At least going forward, here's how we can fix this. If 40 years ago, the money in the Social Security Trust Fund had been invested in the same way that your financial advisor would tell you, some stocks, some bonds, some treasuries, just a normal diversified portfolio, the average person collecting $1,800 a month in Social Security right now would be collecting close to $18,000 per month right now. Imagine an $18,000 a month check in your mailbox. It is government malpractice of the highest order that we ever allowed that to happen. I can't change the past, but we can change the future. So that's how, without cutting a dime of your Social Security, at least we'll leave that intact. What you're paying into the system, you will be getting that $18,000 by the time you're actually collecting it. That's true justice in this country. And I'll close on this point. We don't have to be at the end of the ancient Roman Empire. We don't have to be this nation in decline, fighting over the scraps of some shrinking pie. I think the truth is, as a nation right now, I think this is what George Washington would say if he were alive today. 250 years in, if he's looking down at us, came back for a day, what would he tell us? I think he would say that he still sees a nation that is a little young, actually. Going through our own version of our adolescence. Figuring out who we're going to be when we grow up. And when you view it that way, it makes sense again. You go through your adolescence, you go through that identity crisis. You lose your way a little bit. Do some stupid things. Maybe not you, but most of us do. But we are stronger for it when we get to our adulthood on the other side. So no, I don't think we have to be that nation in decline. I think we still can be a nation in our ascent. I'm not going to be the guy that walks in here and tells you it's morning in America, guys. It's not. But it can be. I'm not going to tell you the American dream is alive and well right now. I can't look young people in the eye and tell you that right now. It is not. It is alive and hanging on for life support. I can't look people collecting Social Security benefits that aren't allowing make their ends meet and tell them the same thing, that the American dream is alive and well. It is not. It is alive and hanging on for life support. But it can be. And we're asking you to do your part to make it so. Every one of your voices and votes at the Iowa caucus, it's like the equivalent of 1 million people in shaping the outcome of who becomes the president. If we win the Iowa caucus, I'm your next president. And if I'm your next president, we get done the things we told you we're going to get done, from shutting down government agencies to reviving our sense of national pride and character in this country. And so I'm asking each of you, we're asking each of you to take 30 minutes of your time on January 15th to save this country. And we're asking you to do a little bit more than that. Take 30 minutes of your time also between now and then to tell 10 people in this community what we talked about tonight. Bring them to the Iowa caucus too. And if you all do your part, I promise you, Apoorva and I and our family, we will do ours to make sure that our country's best days are actually still ahead of us. To make sure that we'll look our kids in the eye and mean it when we tell them that the United States of America is still the nation where no matter who you are, or where your parents came from, or what your skin color is, that you will get ahead in this country with your own hard work, your own commitment, your own dedication. And that you know what? You are free to speak your minds at every step of the way. That is the American dream. That is what we are running to. And with your help, that is what we are going to revive to save this great country. Thank you for coming today, guys. God bless you and your families, and may God bless our United States of America. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our moment. Together, we can make this man the next President of the United States of America. We invite you, we are going to do a photo line. If you would like to line up on your left side of the room, please join us. You'll have an opportunity to get a picture with Vivek and Apurva. Line up on your left side of the room. As you exit, please make sure to fill out a contact card. And if you want to take tonight's message and inspire people at your local precinct, we would love to have you as a speaker on behalf of Vivek's presidential campaign at your local precinct. Fill out a contact card and check Become a Precinct Captain. We'd love to have you be a part by representing the campaign at your local precinct.
Mike, I'm one of your precinct captains.
Just fill out a contact card and check Become a Precinct Captain.
Turn around, buddy. Say cheese. Cheese.
Thank you for everything you're doing. I appreciate it. Thanks for your husband's helping us, and thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hey, good to meet you, man. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate this. It's a great challenge coin, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you so much for coming.
Hey, good to see you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Mine's better.
Oh, I love this.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. This is great. Thank you. Thank you for your.
Hi.
Thank you for serving this country, my man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hi.
Hello.
It's good to see you. Thank you. Good to see you. Thank you.
Yes, I was
Hey,
asking.
good to see you.
I was going to say we met.
Oh, you met at Board.
Yeah,
Oh,
we met
great.
at
Good
the-
to see you
yes,
guys.
that's right.
I wish you
glad
every
you guys-
bit of luck, sir.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. With your help, I think we can do this. Thank you. I think we can do this. Thank you so much. Good to see you.
Thank you for coming.
Hey. It's very nice to meet you. It's good to see you. Great question, man. If you hit the nail on the head, that's exactly right over the target with that. But the answer is, can we? You're darn right we can.
I cannot
That's what it's
believe we're
gonna
the same age.
Awesome,
you make
man.
me feel like 20 years younger.
Well, in a good way. Channel that spirit. I
am
appreciate
so
that,
glad
brother.
to see
Thank
you
you.
running for president.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. With your help, we're going to do this, all right? Good seeing you. Man. Thank you, my man. I appreciate it.
All right, good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thank you, man. Good to see you. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Thank
You
you.
did great today. All right. Can I ask one really
Yeah,
fast? Okay.
maybe a quick one.
All right. Ron DeSantis, you stood next to him, you shook his hand. Is he wearing heels?
I think that,
Let's just get it out
I
there
mean-
for the world.
You were paying attention to the
well,
shoes.
I've met him before. Look, I think that he does have a different kind of shoe.
Okay.
That's
All
okay.
right.
That's
All
just
right.
fact.
There
But
we
I don't
go.
hold it against him. I don't hold it against him. We'll see you. Thank you. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. All right.
It's good to see you, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, man. Good to be here. What's your name?
Mitch, thank
Mitch,
you
hey.
for standing up for our country.
Thank
Really
you, man. I appreciate it. How old are you, brother?
I'm 32. I got baby face.
You do. You look young, but that's good for you, man. Just bring our generation out. Have you done the Iowa
yes.
caucus before?
No, but I'm
You've
planning
got
on doing
to.
it the 1st
You've got
time.
to. Thank you,
you,
brother.
and bring your friends out.
Bring a bunch of people. We're going to do
Thank
this.
you. Thank you.
If you,
Thank you.
if you do this, we're going to make it happen. Hey,
How are you guys?
Good.
Good to see you. You got the
We
first
drove-
book.
Yeah.
Awesome,
we
man.
drove 2 hours from
Where are you from?
Chicago.
Oh, thank you for being here, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm spreading the word. I cannot participate in the caucus. But
Thank you. If you spread the word in Eastern Iowa, though, that's in the Quad Cities. That alone helps. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good to. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate you.
Esther's
Thank
from
you.
Illinois.
Thank you. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Take care, brother. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hey,
Hi, sir.
good to see you.
Very impressive.
Thank you, my man. What's your name?
Ernie.
Ernie. Thank you, Ernie.
Hey, very impressive.
I think we're going to do this for the country. Okay, with your help, we'll make it happen.
You really swayed me today.
Thank you. Have you done the Iowa caucus before?
No, but I'm going to.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you, Ernie.
meeting you, too.
That means a lot. Thank you, Ernie.
Welcome back again.
Thank you.
Vivek.
Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. How are you, ladies? Good to see you. Good to see you. How you been?
I'm good.
Good,
Hey,
good.
Guess,
Good to
guess
see
who my
you.
cousin is?
Who is that? I don't know.
Mark Hoadley from
Oh,
Harvard.
really?
Yeah.
Good
Saw
guy.
him at
Good
Christmas,
guy.
Show me a picture of
Is
you
he from like
dancing at a
Minnesota
wedding.
or something?
He's,
Yeah,
he's
he's-
got a company in San Diego.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, but he's from Minnesota.
Yeah,
Oh, good,
yeah,
good, good,
really
good. That's
guy.
really funny.
Yeah,
Thank
can't
you.
wait for you guys.
It's
You'll
good
be
to
a
see you.
great doctor, the first doctor, first.
Thank you.
Wait,
We're proud of
real
her.
Doctor.
Yeah. Tell him I said hello. And are you from here? Bettendorf. Come on out. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Hey, ladies, how you doing? Good to see you guys. Thank you,
Thank you
ladies.
so much.
Good to see you. And
Yeah, good to see you too.
thank you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year and spread the message, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hey, it's good to meet you, my man. Greg, good to see you, man. What's your name?
Megan.
Megan, good
That
to
was
see
a
you
great
guys.
question.
She's going to be a PA.
Amazing.
Oh, is that right? We need more of them. It's a good time to be going into that. We wish you
it's
well.
great.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Good
Thank
luck.
you, man.
Yep.
Have you done that
you.
caucus before?
No, it's the first time.
We'd love to have you.
Yeah.
We
Yep.
need you.
It means it makes a big difference to
Those
us.
polls wrong.
Yep, exactly. Thank you.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you, man. How
I've
are
been
you?
following you for a long time.
Thank
I
you,
came
brother.
over from Illinois today.
How you doing? Thank you for being here. All the best, brother.
Esther's
Happy
from
New Year.
Illinois. We could use you as a volunteer if you're available.
Yeah,
We
in
could use
Iowa.
that help.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we need your
Thank you,
help
man.
here.
Hey, good to see you, brother. Absolutely. Thank
Thanks
you,
for
man.
all you're doing.
That
Appreciate
means
it.
a lot,
Nice to
brother.
meet you.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. You from around here?
Illinois, actually.
Illinois. Thank you for
Nice to
coming
drive
over.
so.
Thank you, brother.
You
Spread
bet.
the message.
Thanks for the
Yeah.
energy. Thanks for bringing your family. It's awesome. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
man. If you got friends in the Quad Cities,
Yeah.
activate them. On the
betcha.
Iowa side. Thank you, man.
All right.
If you
Thank you
volunteer
so
for us, that'd be
much.
good. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Hey,
Hello.
how you guys doing, guys? Good to see you.
First time voter in the
Amazing.
Amazing.
Have you done the
There we
caucus
go.
yourself?
a long time ago.
Oh, really?
Caucusing.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing, guys. How old are you guys?
Thank you.
You're 18.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Congrats.
Hey, bring as many people, bring like 20 people each. Honestly, flood it. We're going to do awesome with this. Thank you. We're going to deliver a surprise. Thank you. Thanks for. Proud of you guys.
Awesome.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Hey, good to see you,
Hey,
brother.
just want to let you know, I'm a Kirkland House member at Harvard
Oh,
College.
you are?
Yes,
Oh,
right
good to
now.
see you.
Yeah,
Kirkland
yeah.
House.
I was like,
I'm a
K-House
Kirkland guy. I'm a
represent.
K-House
So,
guy.
yeah,
Yeah,
great.
exactly.
Great.
Good to see you, man.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, brother. How you doing?
Hey, let's get in there. Get the whole
Where do you guys
time.
live?
I live here in Bettendorf.
Nice.
But
Awesome.
spend most of the time in Cambridge.
We'll do the Iowa caucus here.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Awesome.
That's right.
Make that
15. I'm
happen.
here till the 15th.
Awesome.
Oh, amazing.
Martin Luther
We'll
King
do.
Day. Bring as many
Bring your
people as you
friends.
can. I'm
We
serious.
will. We will.
Rock it.
We will.
If
We
you,
will.
if you get like 100 people out, we're just going to shock the system. I appreciate it, brother.
Hey, thank you.
Good to see you, man.
It's good hearing you with Alex Jones. I thought that was
He's a
cool.
good dude.
Yeah.
People say they don't talk to him. I've been talking to him for a little while, and that's kind of, I'm glad to see him mainstreamed now.
Not so different.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got to speak truth. Yeah.
Look at that.
Thank you.
Double.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Good to see you, man. What's your name?
Andy.
Andy, good to meet you, man. Good to meet you.
Jenna.
Jenna, hey, good to meet you, Jenna. Thank you for being here, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Remember when I intercepted you?
Good to see you.
Nice
Good
to meet
see
you, man. How
Hi,
you doing?
Brock.
How old are you, man?
I'm 32.
Bring out your
Awesome.
generation, man. You done the
Hey,
caucus
most
before?
definitely. Hey, this is my first time.
Amazing.
Hey, I haven't been able to vote. I'm a felon, so I just fall into the new ones.
Are you allowed to? Are you allowed to now?
Yep.
I think you can.
Yep. Now they just changed it, so
Beautiful.
I'm gonna try it out. So
And bring some people with you too.
Bring your friends.
January 15th.
hey, we'll do.
January 15th. Thank you, brother.
Man, hey, take
Thank you. Take care. Hey, good to see you. Oh my gosh. You guys are, how do you do it? You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you guys. Love it. How old?
4.5 months.
4. I'm so cute.
She your first?
Oh my gosh, she is so cute. Thank you for coming out, man. Have you done the Iowa caucus before?
Yeah, I have.
Awesome. Thank you.
I switch back and forth every year, like Democrat, Republican, just so I can participate. All the
Yeah,
time.
well, here you are.
So I'm gonna
This year's the Republican.
Republican. There we go.
For sure.
Spread the message for us, all right? Thank you, man. That means a lot to me.
Appreciate it. Thank you so
That means a
much.
lot. Thank you. Hey, it's good to see you.
Nice
Good
to
to
meet
see you,
you.
Nancy.
Nice to meet you.
Hey,
Great.
it's good to see you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here, ladies. Have you done the Iowa caucus before?
I have.
You
So
have.
I will be there on the 15th.
Amazing. We'll
So
spread the
thank
message,
you.
guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye. Hey.
Me from a couple
Yeah,
weeks
it's
ago.
good to see you, brother. How you
man?
doing,
Good.
man?
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you again. Awesome. You round them up for us, man.
I will.
Bring
I
them out
have
on the
it,
15th.
absolutely. Me and my
brother.
brother, absolutely.
I
So.
think I can feel your energy, man. You're pretty dominant. So
Appreciate it,
keep it
appreciate it.
out,
Nice to
brother.
meet
We'll
you.
see you.
Honored to meet
Thank
both
you.
of
Hey,
you.
good.
Honored to meet you, Bob
We're
Larson.
from Illinois. Oh, thank you for being here, guys.
Honored to meet you.
Thank you, guys.
If you are
Thank you so much for
available
being
to
here.
volunteer, we need your help.
If you volunteer with us in the Quad Cities.
That would be awesome.
Todd,
Yes, sir.
Illinoisers, but they can volunteer for us, okay? So help us. Thank you very
Awesome.
much.
Thank
Todd.
you. Thank you for
Thank you.
coming over.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
We're not going to stop till we're done, okay? Yeah.
We're right
Thank
behind
you.
you.
Thank you.
so
Means a
much,
lot,
guys.
guys. Thank you.
Vivek,
Hey, good to
I've
see you,
been
man.
saying for years, I've been pulling my hair out, which you don't have much left. Why don't they just say grandfather these idiots in?
Oh, you've been saying
I've
it?
been saying for years.
So I've been saying it
And
for
like
years,
no
too.
One, why? Like it's not that hard.
Dude, it's
that's
exactly,
so obvious.
it's basic
common sense.
incentives, basic incentives,
Exactly.
human incentives.
And they're like, oh, we're so benevolent. Look at
No,
us.
exactly, because it's wildly popular, so they're all going to do it.
Yes.
It's just that you got to understand how to. These people
Thank
are
you.
coin
Thank you for
operated.
I'm like,
They're
you
like a
said
coin
that, I'm
operated.
like,
Oh, that's
someone
awesome, man.
finally gets it.
Well, you know what? We're going to have a
Thank
lot
you.
of positions in the government we need to fill, so you sign your name down. That's awesome, man. You from here?
Yeah, I am.
Well, you spread the message here.
Thanks a
You
lot.
done the caucus before?
Yes, I've spoken like everyone.
Oh,
for
awesome.
the last.
Well, if you want to sign up a precinct captain for us too, that'd be awesome.
All right. I'll
Yeah, I
do
could
it.
tell you probably have a good. That'd be a good story to tell. don't you?
I'm a little animated.
Yeah, no, that's what I could tell. That's what I'm saying. Maybe you should.
Thanks a lot.
Have you done it before?
Yes, I have.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, guys. Good seeing you, man. What's your name?
Jeremy.
Jeremy, good to see you. Good to meet you, man.
Good to meet you.
Apurva.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Sorry,
Apurva.
Apurva. I didn't want to mess that up.
That was perfect.
Thank
Wonderful.
You.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, brother.
Keep going. 100% keep going.
Oh, we're
All
not
right?
going to stop till we get this job done.
Okay.
I'm telling you that.
No,
You bring a bunch of people out with you. You done the caucus before?
I have. I did. The last one was.
Bring a bunch of people
was
out.
my very first one. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. So, thank you. Keep
Thank
it
you,
up.
brother. We will. We will.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Bob Heng, they call me VP.
Oh, VP.
Hey, nice, love it.
I'll take that as a job.
Hey, keep fighting the fight.
Oh, you could be VP, maybe. Good to see you. Where do you live?
I'm from Des Moines. My wife would have came too, but we.
Oh, really? We got 4 kids?
Yeah.
Oh,
So she
Well,
got
tell her thank you, and hey, you caucus in Des Moines?
No, I'll be caucusing here.
You caucus here? Okay. All right, good stuff, man.
Make sure
Thank
you
you.
work out.
Oh, we are.
You need
We
some
are.
help?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Pops and push-ups. Thank you. Good seeing you, man.
Yes, sir.
Great question, brother. I'm
Those were
proud of
great
you.
questions.
Choosing your career path you are.
Yes, sir. And then I just have a quick question, if I can.
Yeah.
So, the same time the Iowa caucus is going on,
Yeah.
as you're aware, I mean, the Davos group is going on as well. What are your how do we get
Stop
that
funding it, first of all. Stop funding the WHO, stop funding the UN, stop any indirect funding of the WF. Absolutely. My latest book is Capitalist Punishment. It talks about all the World Economic Forum nonsense.
Especially when our own FBI directors get.
Oh,
the last year one.
our own FBI director's a joke. He's a puppet for the people that are effectively the swamp that lives underneath him, right?
And that whole agenda just does not.
Read that third book, man, if you want.
What's it called again?
It's called Capitalist Punishment.
For
It's
sure.
actually the least read of my 3 books, but it's much more technical, but it goes into a lot of the world.
I'll check it out. Very nice to meet you.
But
as
more
well.
importantly, bring as many people as you freaking can on January 15th
For sure.
to this caucus. Where do you live?
I'm in Illinois, but
Volunteer with us. Todd, this guy's, we got this right kind of guy here.
One more thing, as the polls were saying, my friends were also in support of you. Not one of us has been polled. So
Yeah, no, I mean, the polls are
definitely-
junk.
They don't show it. but-
Yeah, we're going to dominate this.
Yes,
so.
sir, I hope so.
Oh, with your
Nice
help,
to
we
meet you.
will, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. What's your name?
Larry.
Larry, good to see you, Larry. Thank you. Hi.
good to see you.
He wouldn't come in. I had
Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming back. Good to see you. Nice to meet you.
experience
Thank you. Have you done the Iowa caucus before?
I've not done anything.
Just if you, Larry, you just sign up with us and you guys come that night. That's all I ask. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it, Larry. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
I got to send my wife. I'm Canadian. So
Oh, you are?
I got to get this picture. So if ever in
Thank
trouble
you.
crossing the northern border, I got evidence. We're buddies.
Just come through the front door. We'll happily take the good Canadians. Trudeau hasn't been the best of a leader up there.
I think we'll get rid of him.
Yeah, well, vote him out. Yeah.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you.
I started in Cincinnati at GE
Oh,
the
no
year you
way.
were born.
Really?
Yeah.
My dad was there
Yeah.
at the Evendale plant. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, no way.
Oh, really? You did, but you live here now.
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up here. So
You spread the message for us. My dad was a whole career there.
Yeah.
At that plant. Yep.
They're still right
Good
there.
to see you. Take care.
Hi.
Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for being here, guys.
Nice to meet you.
What's your name, brother?
Tim.
Tim. Good to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out. Here we
Come on in,
go.
guys. You live here in Iowa?
Yes. Yep. Awesome.
Yeah, being here, I went.
You've never done the caucus yet?
Amazing.
Oh, bring as many people as you can, and we're going to do this. Thank you, guys. Take care, guys. Take care. Hi. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Thank
and
you for coming here.
we will. We're not going to stop till we get the job done. Strong candidate to strong president is the goal.
Yes.
Have you done the caucus before?
No, but my cousins have.
Okay, well, if you sign up with us, we'll tell you exactly how to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Nice to meet you. Hi, I'm
Hi.
Mark.
Good to see you, Mark.
Two
Thank you,
things.
man. Yep.
One is you need to get your wife a high top chair.
Yeah.
And one other thing, I'm very active in the Team Vivek 2024 Discord
Oh, you are?
server.
Awesome.
Can I get a quick video of you doing a shout out to those
Yeah,
guys?
absolutely.
Uh,
She can take it. Esther can take it.
Oh, can you take
Take a video.
quick video? Just a shout out to those guys, thanking them
Yeah.
for all their effort.
Team Vivek 2024, you guys are dominating. You keep it up. Our ground game on the digital strategy has made the other campaigns look small by comparison, and that's because of you guys, not because of me. Keep it up. You do your part. We're going to do ours, and we're going to save this country, all right? You keep it up, and we're on you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot for what you're doing. Spread that message to the community. Thank you.
Good
Thank
luck,
you.
y'all.
Thank you. I appreciate
really
it.
appreciate it. It was wonderful, and congratulations, y'all.
What's your name?
Sandy.
Sandy. Good to see you,
I
Sandy.
just signed the caucus card.
Oh,
I
thank
love
you.
it. Never done this before, so we're going to
We're
go
counting
for
on
it.
you. We're counting on you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, first time with a presidential candidate, so I wish you well.
Thank you, Sandy. It means a lot.
And
We're going to do our
truly,
part.
I believe in a CEO in the White House.
That's exactly what we need.
I mean, it's a business that should be run
Like a business.
by a business.
Yes,
Gotcha.
exactly. And we're going to do that. And we're going to do that. Absolutely.
Wen, thanks for
Hey,
coming.
Wen, good to meet you.
You know
Thank
what?
you. Good question.
You guys are great. I'm
Thank
telling you. You made me think about caucusing.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. I appreciate that. Have you never done it before?
No, and I'm from Iowa. And,
Well-
but I have to tell you one thing.
Yeah.
Is that I followed you. I don't agree with everything.
It's allowed.
Which is why
It's allowed.
I asked questions. But here's the thing: is that you made me think of things differently tonight.
Thank you.
Which is what somebody should do. I mean, you're brilliant. You're brilliant, right?
Thank
If
you.
you can't debate.
Well, can I tell you something about myself? I signed somebody else's book that I wrote. It's the first of 3 books. It's called Woke Inc. And I'll tell you what I told
And
him.
you know how many times I've looked up that definition and I don't understand?
Well, I defined it in the book. I defined it in the book because different people use different things. So I believe in defining terms. But I told the gentleman whose book I signed, I said, I agree with 95% of what's in there. Because that was 3 years ago.
Right.
And so we should all be open. We should all be open to that. So that's what I will say.
What you do. You think
We're human
differently,
beings. That's
and
right.
You have to have opinions that make you go, oh, wait, I didn't think of it that way. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah.
That's right.
Anyway.
And so I'm the same way. And I think that when the facts change, You change your mind.
Yeah, you do.
That's
You
what.
do.
That's what.
And
So.
that's the difference of being in high school and being in your 30s
Yeah,
and 40s or 50s.
and I think it's the difference between being a politician or a non-politician, because I think, then they'll say you flip-flop or something. Well, I'd rather have somebody that evolves in their opinions than to somebody that and question things. But that's how you also have stronger convictions in your own beliefs. So all I will ask is, you don't have to agree with 100% of what I say to support me, but it's going to have to be thoughtful people, thoughtful patriots who put up a president that reflects what you would want in that president as a matter of character. So
you know what? I voted for Donald Trump, and
So did
I
I.
believe that
More than any adults, probably.
And in terms of
is that the business point
Yes.
of view, and don't go in there as a politician.
No.
I agree.
Thank you.
I think that's your biggest challenge.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Well, it's our biggest opportunity as well to do it differently. Thank you.
Do we actually have a chance to get the picture?
Oh, that's on your phone.
My phone.
Oh, it's
Yeah. Yes.
I hope so.
I would just ask you to bring yourselves and as much of this community on that night as possible.
We're
I'll
very
try.
involved in the community.
It will mean a lot to me.
Thank you.
bet.
It would mean a lot to our country.
I mean,
Thank you, guys.
I appreciate your time, and I appreciate everything you're doing.
Thank you. How you doing, my man? Oh, man. I love this. Yes.
Ray, I'm
Right?
a big supporter.
Thank you, brother.
I worked 4 years ago with Andrew Yang.
Oh, you did? He's a
nice,
smart
I was
guy.
gonna say.
We met the guy
You guys have a lot in
earlier.
common. Always a
He's
smart guy.
he's I like the math too
great.
thing. The math point about the Social Security, that was my last answer there.
I was a precinct captain 4 years
Oh,
ago.
is that
but
right?
I'm volunteer.
Well, if you could be a precinct captain for us, I would be awesome.
I'm doing everything I can.
You already are signed up with us?
Thank you.
Thank you,
Love
brother.
it.
I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
I
Let's
appreciate
go.
it, man. Counting on you. Let's go. Let's do this.
All
With
right,
your help,
thank
we will.
you.
Thank you. Hey, how you doing, ladies? It's good to see you.
Hello, what's your name?
Hey, what's up, man?
And what's your
It's good
name?
to see you. Thank you for being here.
Camilla.
Oh, my son would love that shirt
Oh,
of
that
yours
is
too.
an awesome shirt.
Get over here. Come on in here,
Hey,
ladies.
Come on in.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for coming. Seriously.
Proud of you, man, for bringing your kids too.
Absolutely.
Have you done the caucus before?
I have. This is our second time we've.
Thank you.
Tabitha has a question.
Yes?
How do you think of Biden's politics?
I think that they're not very good. I think he is a man who doesn't really know what he's doing, but the people around him are making him do some pretty stupid things. And it's time to get a change, actually. And I think maybe having somebody a little bit younger might be good. Somebody who can think independently, and somebody who maybe you can hold accountable. That if I don't do the right thing for your generation, that you can tell me that I screwed up, as opposed to having somebody who's old and gone. Yeah. Does that sound good to you? Do we have a deal? All right.
That's a great question.
You hold me accountable. How old are you?
7.
You're 7? Almost 8. That makes sense. Thank you.
Well, happy almost birthday.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Seriously. Spread the message. This community can do up on, all right? Absolutely. Thank you. Nice meeting you too.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Is this your family? Good job. Oh, hey. What's your name? Elisa. Oh, you are?
Oh, thank you. Well, good to meet you because I do a lot of stuff around the Quad City. That's why I have friends on the
Wow. Talk about government transparency.
Are you going to run again or how's
I don't know. I think it's amazing. I'm not going anywhere. I'm pretty involved.
So my role is
No, I'm on the
Okay. At first, that's what I thought. I can't remember.
I'm over that side.
Oh, it's because they're flooding it with the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. They're trying to get an election. It's the same reason the Fed is going to slash interest rates in the next year. They're going to do whatever they can to prop up the other side's puppet.
Yeah.
But then we're going to pay doubly on the backside of it. That's why.
But I think we're buying it.
And also just
we're funding both sides of the war.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're also just bringing out our Strategic Petroleum Reserve, which is probably the lowest level, just sort of backdooring a lot of that too, is my guess. So, but we can't let him get away with it.
Right.
And I think it's going to take somebody who
the
knows how to
scariest
do this.
Yeah.
It's a good question. It's a sharp question for you, and you're getting right to the heart of it.
Nobody's asking me.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially
Actually, maybe I should talk about that more. It's a good point.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, thank you.
Very much.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. Thank you.
From your mom.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did you sign up with us yet?
Hi. Thanks for coming.
You did. Thank you. Thank you. Hey,
Hi.
good to see you.
I'm
Thank you.
excited
I
for
appreciate
you.
that.
Both. You're
Thank you.